Yeah.
I was very intrigued by when you were talking about to get your gauge, you took a hammer to your ear. So I'm confused by that process because what I've heard happens with a gauge is like a regular little needle and then they slowly put a bigger and bigger one in.
Right.
But you took out a chunk of your ear with a hammer?
So this was the 90s when gauges were not first invented because they're invented by like indigenous people.
Right.
But that's how so they would it was kind of like a cone. Like picture like a traffic cone. You know how a traffic cone's skinny and then gets wider? And so it was...
A triangle, if you will.
Yeah, like a fat triangle, like a butt plug almost, but like miniature. And they were wooden or hard plastic.
Okay. You have a mini hard plastic butt plug.
That's right. Yep. And then so you put it in your ear and then you slowly lube it up with like lube or Vaseline. And then you could push it through slowly but surely. But
in one go, not over a long period of time, slowly stretching. In one go, you're pushing this butt plug through your ear.
That's how we did it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's how we did it.
Oh, so you just skipped all the steps, you know?
Yeah. Well, I just went down to 0. There were other ones that were bigger and bigger.
It's
but
like
yeah,
losing your virginity
and we
to
didn't.
me or something.
That's right. Amen. But we didn't use a real hammer. We used one of the rubber hammers.
Oh, a mallet.
Okay.
Not to be confused with a mallard.
Exactly, not the duck.
No, that'd be crazy if you used a duck
Oh my
to
God.
whack it in your ear. Yeah,
quack.
that wouldn't have liked that.
That's how Gilbert Godfrey died.
Oh no.
That's sad.
I know. He
love
was my
him.
favorite duck.
Yeah, he's a good duck.
I feel like you would play a good duck in like a voice thing. You know what I mean?
I would like to be a duck too. I have a weird history with feathered like birds like that
You have a
because
featherphobia?
I got attacked by geese when I was a kid.
Oh, that's
Canadian geese.
so sorry.
Wild.
Yeah, I was feeding them bread in the park. And then I ran out of bread, and they were like, more bread! And I was like, I don't have any more bread! And then they just like knocked me over and like jumped on me and were like, wah, wah, wah.
They were
thought
looking
you were
for
bread.
yeah. They were looking for bread.
They thought I was the bread factory.
They thought you were a bakery.
Yeah, the bread man. But I was like, I'm just a little girl.
You're just a little
Yeah.
girl that was handing
Just a
out
little
bread.
girl,
I'm just
yeah.
a little girl. I'm not a bread man. Yeah.
They were like, we found our next buffet. And I was like,
I would not want to be the bread man when they found me.
no, because they will find you. They'll sniff you out.
Well, okay, so let's not make you a duck then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, because I associate ducks with geese. And geese are kind of like, you know,
They're bigger, right?
Yeah.
they're bigger.
They're bigger,
And
yeah.
they honk.
Geese are like ducks' cousins from the country. You know
Right.
what I mean? You know?
Right.
Yeah. But I do think geese are quite elegant looking.
I like swans.
Mm.
I like the
Swans? I didn't see one IRL until I was pretty
Prospect
old.
Park.
Well, actually, I saw one for the first time in Boston.
Oh,
they
nice.
have a park there that's like known for their swans, and I didn't realize how big they were. I was scared.
Yeah, they're big.
I was like, if
daddies.
this thing wants to fight,
Yeah,
it's like
and they're violent.
I would lose. Yeah,
They're
and I
violent,
heard
too,
they
yeah.
are. They're very territorial.
Yeah, don't go near their babies. They'll.
See, the thing about birds is they've been able to turn into such, ginormous creatures over time because, if you're up in the air, you can't get hunted very well. Like what's going to take out a bird in the evolutionary chart, like they're not getting, I don't know.
That's true. Pterodactyls. Back in
Yeah,
the
If
day.
they're up there, they have room to grow,
Yeah.
They just gonna expand to fill the whole sky.
I mean,
Right.
maybe eventually. I mean, we might get taken over by birds. I don't know.
Well, they
wow.
were once dinosaurs. They're the only living creatures that were dinosaurs.
They're the dinosaurs that could get off the ground,
Amen.
That's wild. That's scary to think about. I don't like birds either. Fuck birds. Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, fuck
Send
birds.
them to the Capitol.
Why?
When I was growing up,
You know why?
I don't know why.
It's okay.
The birds know things and
Yeah.
do things.
Yeah, and you bring Tarif with them. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, my grandma got an African gray. Do you know those birds?
Oh, yeah.
An African gray.
Yeah,
they're like parrots. They're like this
They're
big. She saw
Caligula.
one on TV riding a bicycle, a miniature bicycle, and she's like, I gotta get this.
They're very smart.
It's so smart.
Yes.
But they take a lot of upkeep.
Yeah.
Or they act like such assholes. Pepper's his name. He's still in the family because they lived till 75. So he was passed on to my aunt.
Wow.
And will probably be passed on to another family member.
Wow.
When she departs, but Pepper will live for quite a while. But Pepper's such an asshole. He like would jump on the ground and like bite your toes if he was mad at you, and like he would he like curses a lot, and like my grandma was like a chain smoker.
Nice.
So he'll imitate the way that she says things. So he'll be like, "Hello, Pepper."
Hell yeah, Pepper. I like Pepper.
Pepper's over there doing lines in the corner, playing Uno and yelling at her neighbor.
Yeah, he tried to smoke a cigarette once. Like she was smoking and she put it down, and he jumped on the table and went to grab it with his foot, but he accidentally burnt his foot. So then that like turned him off smoking for good.
Yeah,
and it's like that's what we should do with kids. We should just burn them with cigarettes.
That's smart.
So they don't smoke.
Yeah, that's fun. Getting burned with cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always good for children.
Yeah.
They usually have good memories of that.
You want to smoke?
Right. It's like the new DARE program.
Yeah. Someone should just come to schools and burn kids with cigarettes.
Yeah, it's like you beat the gay out of someone. Same thing, you know?
For the record, I am joking. I never am sure how I come across.
I like her. She's funny.
I can't believe you guys haven't met. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad this is the first time meeting.
Oh shit!
Have you seen that show Yellow Jackets? Mm-hmm. There's an African gray in that show.
Oh yeah, he's a cutie.
Caligula is his name.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Christina Ricci's
I'm really bad with names.
Birds. Yeah, but anyway.
But so let's get off of the birds for a second. Okay,
Yeah.
I do love birds, but what animal would you be then if you're voice acting? If you like were in a zoo movie and you could pick any character, what would you be?
I always saw myself as a lemur. You know how lemurs have like real big eyes? Because I got the big eyes and they're kind of crazy. They're kind of shifty like a bird.
Yeah. Not the birds again. We're right back to birds.
Yeah, but they're they have fur though, which is better, I think, than feathers.
Yeah, I could see you. Or a sloth.
But the thing is, I move fast.
Okay, so you wouldn't be a sloth.
So I'm not really a
you
sloth.
wouldn't be a
But I
sloth,
do have sloth energy if a sloth could like dance.
Like a fast sloth.
A fast sloth.
A dancing sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a sloth took speed,
right.
I think that could be me.
You are so funny. You're so ridiculous. You're
smoking crack.
Oh my god! I watched some of your special today.
Oh,
I got
you.
I got like through the first 20 minutes, and I had to go to the gym, and I will finish it.
Thank you.
It was so fucking funny.
Thank you.
And of course, I've seen you a bunch before, but it's just so nice to see like someone that's actually like funny doing comedy. You know what I mean?
And a female that's funny.
Well, I mean, just funny in general. You're so goofy, and there's not enough goofy. There's not enough joke writers. You're just the whole fucking package. You'd be funny in any era, in any of that.
Thanks
like
so
timeless.
much.
Yeah, exactly.
Timeless.
And it's
That's
just
important.
I like to see you win. That's all. I'm a fan.
I would like to see me win too. One of these days, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Sorry, I know that's a lot. You're just making me laugh a lot. But
No, that was very kind of you. I appreciate that.
I feel that way about Sheri too. Sheri is crazy on stage.
Yeah.
She's got crazy big energy. But
Hell
I feel
yeah.
like the difference is like you're almost wholesome, in a very innocent way on stage, and you're like the complete opposite.
Right, I'm dirty. I'm a dirty old grandma.
You're not a dirty old grandpa. Grandpa. It's so
crazy
fun.
uncle.
You're like, I stick butt plugs in my ears since I was a kid.
With a hammer.
Yeah, with a hammer.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more innocent depending on who you ask. Some people say they find my act whimsical and like they're like, aren't you clean? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
No,
and then
I didn't
other
accuse
people
you of that. No,
and then
yeah.
other people are like, you are disturbing.
Right.
Disturbing?
Yeah, some
I
people
didn't catch
say I'm
that
disturbing.
from you. I looked at your Instagram today and watched some of your stuff. You're very funny.
Thank you.
Your content can be shockingly not gross, even just you know what I mean, like
sometimes I can be gross.
Yeah, me too, and I love that. It's so much fun to fuck with people in that way.
Every once in a while a poop joke is fun.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
What else is more classic than pooping?
Right, but
we're gonna keep doing it.
It's hard for some females to pull that off, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? But
to make it funny?
Yes, exactly. You make it funny. Like some are you just like cringe at them, you know, and I'm like, that's not funny. You're just fucking gross, and you have dandruff in your hair. It makes you even more gross. But you are not.
I have historically had dandruff. I don't.
Thanks for watching PDP, the only podcast that exists in America.
Exactly, with a straight and a gay.
Yep. Which one's which?
Exactly. You don't really see that. You don't really see gay and straight together.
No, they try to stay in different pools.
Yeah, exactly. And we pee in the same pool.
Yeah.
The kiddie pool.
My mouth. All right, I'm out of here.
Yeah! Pimp Daddy Podcast. Like, subscribe, and comment.